Hello and welcome to Talking Tolkien, and also welcome to the Prancing Pony in Brie. Get yourself a pint of Butterbur's Best and pull up a pew. For this episode of The Lore of the Rings, we're going to have Tom here take us on a journey to have a look at the Constellations of Arda. As told in the Quenta Silmarillion, the constellations were set in the night sky by Elbereth Githonion, Queen of the Valar, to enlighten the awakening of the elves to Valinor. 6 constellations were formed, with Menel Macar and Bala Kyoka the most important. So, now that dusk is approaching outside, let's finish our pints and go and see how keen our eyes are as we find a good vantage point to go stargazing. Okay, so we're here now at Weathertop, or Amon Sul, which is the highest point in the Weather Hills and the home of the most powerful of the Kingdom of Arnor's Palantiri, seems like an appropriate place to look towards the past. So first, one of the most important constellations is Menel Macar, the swordsman of the sky, and was set as a foreboding of the last battle. The last battle, Dagor Dagarath, which in Sindarin translates to Battle of All Battles, was an apocalyptic battle which would have seen the forces of the Valar uniting against the evil of Melkor. Happily, this prophecy never came to pass, and in reality Tolkien abandoned the idea, although reference to it can still be found throughout Tolkien's published works. Menel Macar itself was created by Varda at the time of the awakening of the elves, as a symbol of light and hope. The Quenya name literally translates as Heaven Swordsman. The 3 stars close to each other represent the belt of Menel Macar, as we can see here, and then to the right of them is a curved line of 6 small stars, which is his sword. If you want to look up into the sky in the northern hemisphere on a clear night, you can still see Menel Macar, though he now goes by the name of Orion. Next up we have Bala Kyoka, which translates to the Sickle of the Valar, and the second of the 2 major constellations in the heavens of Middle-earth. This one, like Menel Macar, was created by Varda just before the awakening of the elves, and was set as a challenge to Melkor. The 7 stars of Bala Kyoka have a lot of symbolism throughout Middle-earth. They were a symbol of Elendil and his heirs, and also the doors of Durin displayed 7 stars with a crown. This is an illustration of Durin's crown, which is mentioned in these lines that Gimli sings in the Song of Durin. He stooped and looked in Mirrormere, and saw a crown of stars appear. This refers to the legend that says Durin looked into the Mirrormere in daylight and saw a crown of stars around his head. He took this as a sign he should be king of the Longbeards, and consequently founded the city of Khazad-dûm. If you visit Lake Mirrormere, you can see that there are stars visible in the water even during daytime, though sadly it wasn't recorded exactly which constellation he saw in the lake. When Frodo was staying in the Hobbit room in the Prancing Pony in Brie, he looked out of the window and saw the Bala Kyoka bright above Brie Hill. If you want to look out at night, this constellation is today known as the Plough or the Big Dipper. As a young hobbit myself, growing up in rural England, I knew this as the Saucepan, and for years it was the only constellation I could identify. The 3rd constellation we have here is Remmy Roth, which translates to netted stars, identifying it as this small group of stars over here. There's not much written by Tolkien about this constellation, but if you want to search for it in the night sky, it's nowadays known as Pleiades. Other constellations, such as Wilwarin, Telumendil, Sorunume, and Anarima, were also mentioned in Tolkien's later works, but were not published in his lifetime and contain no further information to identify them. Happily, the creators of Lord of the Rings Online included 3 of Tolkien's identifiable constellations in the night sky of Middle-earth, adding to the authenticity and realism of this world. As it's such a clear night, we'll leave Tom now to have a nice lie down underneath this beautiful canvas of stars, which tell their own story of the history of Middle-earth. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more of the same. For now, I wish you a happy stargazing, and of course, thanks for watching.